Hi everyone! Welcome back to my channel. I am so excited to be recording again. It's been way too long. Today we're going to be talking about nursing mama must-haves. That's kind of a tongue twister. Nursing mama must-haves. So I am really excited to be filming this video. I have been planning it for months. I've got my list here. I'm here to spread a little light and hopefully make nursing a little bit easier for some other mamas. I will be linking everything possible that I can down below so that you can go purchase these things directly if you want to. Just as a backstory, in the very beginning, nursing was so intensely difficult. They always say that nursing is hard and it takes some learning, that sometimes it can be painful, but I was not prepared for how painful it was. And that is after a 36-hour natural unmedicated birth. You can imagine my surprise, and I felt really discouraged. So these first things I'm going to talk about are things that really saved our nursing relationship when I was almost ready to just throw in the towel. The very first thing that I think is important to have is a good nipple cream. I personally love this Mother Love nipple cream. I love this one because it's all natural. It doesn't have anything weird in it. It feels really nice. It's more of a balm than a cream. It smells like essential oils. This is so great. It's just got olive oil, beeswax, shea butter, marshmallow root. I don't know what that is, but it sounds amazing. And calendula flower. The next thing that saved my life, and I do not say that lightly, is breast shells. These things are very strange and they look really weird under clothes. This is not something that you're gonna probably want to wear out. In the beginning, I literally could not have anything touching me. I could not even lay in bed topless and have a sheet on me. I was that sensitive. My amazing midwife brought me these things. They remind me of like a little tortoise shell. They have two pieces. So the front is a hard plastic. It's got holes in the front to keep air flowing through there. And then this back part is like a rubbery, I think it's maybe made out of silicone, and it's got a hole and you can take this off. These literally make it so that nothing can touch you. If this happens to you, go buy these immediately. You will be so happy that you did. Also, in the beginning, when your milk first comes in, it can kind of feel like you're just leaking milk 24 hours a day, but these actually collect milk. You can just take them off, you can pour it into a bottle and put it in the fridge, and then your baby can drink it later. And these are made by Advent. The next thing on my list were gel pads. It's like a little silicone gel pad. They're slightly sticky and they're cooling, and you can even put them in the fridge. You just put them directly on, and it was the only thing that felt good. I would either have those shells on or I would have those pads on, especially when we were having friends and family coming over to see our baby and I didn't want to have two tortoise shells under my shirt. It was just so soothing and relieving when I was in a lot of pain. I recommend having some of those. In the beginning, they were so amazing. The next thing is a pump. I think this is probably an obvious one for most people, but there are some things to take into consideration when getting your pump. The first thing is you really have to think about what your plans are for your baby. I was not going to go back to work. My husband and I are more on the attachment parenting end of the spectrum, which means that I'm not really going to be separated from my baby very often. I think she's been babysat 3 times since she's been born. I knew that I didn't need to have some crazy workhorse of a breast pump. If that is your plan, then you're going to want to look into getting the best breast pump. Sometimes even a hospital grade pump can be good to rent. I think they're $2,000 to buy or something ridiculous, but you can rent them for a lot less than that if you really need something that's going to be very efficient. I did get a pump because currently under the Affordable Care Act, part of that is that your insurance is required to provide you a pump for no cost to you. We got the free pump through our insurance. It's an Ameda, purely yours. It's just fine. I have no problems with it. You can adjust the speed and the suction strength. I mean, it's just a very basic pump. I did recently use my friend's pump when we were visiting them. She had a Medela and it was significantly better. It has a whole cycle it goes through. It really mimics what a baby does when they nurse. All I can say between the two that I've tried is that I like that one better, but you know, you should do your own research. I'm really not an expert on pumps. I have been using it more often lately because I've been made aware of a lot of needs of babies for donor milk. I have no problems making milk. I thought I might as well pump a little bit extra and donate it to other babies so that they can also have the benefits of breast milk. Anyway, something to consider. Think about what your plans are, and realistically, if you need to have the best pump, if you can just get the free one from your insurance. I know for us, they would not give us the pump until after she was born. If you are a pregnant mama, you can use a breast pump to help to induce labor. It releases hormones that will help labor to start. I wouldn't go out and buy one just so that you have it then. Maybe borrow one if you can, or see if your insurance will give it to you before your baby is born. What is next? The next thing is nursing pads, and I have a lot of opinions about them. So bear with me. When you are nursing, depending on who you are and how your body works, some people cannot go to a grocery store and hear a baby crying without having a letdown, which means that you are gonna soak through your shirt, and it's gonna be very awkward for you unless you just don't care. For me, I know if I'm soaking through my shirt, I wanna go home. So you need to put something in there to absorb any extra milk that might decide to escape. There are a lot of options out there. A lot of them are disposable. I personally do not believe in using the disposable ones for a few reasons. One of them is that they have like a plastic layer, but it's so important that you let that skin on your nipple breathe. And I know that might sound weird, but just think about when you get a cut on your finger and you put a band-aid on it and you've like maybe washed your hands a couple times. When you take that band-aid off, your skin will be kind of clammy and maybe even a little lighter and have kind of a weird smell because the moisture has been trapped under the band-aid. So that's the same thing that happens on your nipples. Of all the places on my body, that is not an area that I want to mess with. I also just didn't want something that I'm just going to keep throwing away because I knew I would be going through them a lot. So I wanted something that I could just throw in the laundry with my clothes. I searched for a good alternative. What I found are these BAMBOOBIES, which is such a funny name. I love it. They're super soft. They're made out of a bamboo rayon, and they're in a heart shape, which is probably the reason that I like them so much. This is what they look like. Like, I just love them. I know that's so weird. This is the outside, and then this is the part that goes against your skin. You probably can't tell, but it is so soft. It's like velvet. And the more times that I've washed them, the softer they've gotten. These are brand new out of the package, and they're already really soft. But the ones that I've washed a bunch of times are like snuggly feeling. I don't go anywhere without them. I would not want to see what would happen if I did. These are so great. They're obviously going to save you money because you're not going to keep buying disposable ones, and they're just really comfortable. The one thing I will say is that I tried to survive on one box of these, thinking, oh, I'm just going to wash them and I always do laundry anyway. Please get more than one box, just for your own sanity. If you don't have any fresh ones and they're all in the laundry and the ones that you're wearing are wet, you either are going to not have anything to wear, or you're just going to feel like you're kind of stinky. It's just gross. Like, let's just be real. Please just get a couple boxes of these. I lived probably 6 months on one box and was constantly like, oh no, I need to do laundry. I'm out of my hearts. And I got another box and was like, duh. Like, what? I could have done that 6 months ago. Okay. The next thing that's really important to have is a good nursing bra. I have yet to find the perfect nursing bra. So if you have one that you love, please leave it in a comment down below because I have not found the right one. This is what makes a bra a nursing bra. You might think at some point that you can just wear a regular bra and just pull it down. And I have tried that and it does not work as well as you think it's going to. Get a good nursing bra. The one thing that they will say is to not have an underwire. An underwire can actually sit and put weight on your milk ducts. It can cause clogged ducts, which is painful. And a clogged duct can lead to mastitis, which can be really dangerous. They say don't use any underwires. That is the one thing to look for. So that's it. The next thing that I'm going to talk about is what I am so excited for because I am straight up obsessed, like stupid obsessed with these. The next thing is nursing tops. Now, I spent 7 months without an actual nursing top. I would wear something flowy with a tank top underneath, which I can tell you in the summer, the last thing you want is an extra layer. But you know, you don't want to lift up your shirt and have like your whole belly sticking out. So I wanted something discreet, and I had all these layers on, and it was just always tricky. I was always trying to find a cute nursing top, and everything I found was like colors I would never wear normally and kind of like ruchy or frilly, or I don't know, just not my style. Anyway, I could never find a cute nursing top that looked like something I would actually wear or actually have in my closet. So I made do for a long time, and then I was on Instagram one day and I came across a page called Mama Bird Tees. They are these super cute, super basic, neutral colored tees and tanks that are made for nursing, but they do not look like nursing tops, which is, I think, probably the most important part. I immediately was like shopping cart, like filling it up. I got 2 of them, and they are better than I even thought they would be. That's what they look like. So I am wearing a Lark Swing tank right now. It's kind of a muscle tank. You guys, I wear these like 5 days a week. I wear them until I cannot get away with it anymore and I have to wash them. So how it works is it's got 2 layers. So you can see it's really flattering. I don't like anything that is too clingy on my belly area these days. And then you can see there's like a cutout. So it's so easy to nurse in. You just lift this up, you unhook your bra, and you can either just leave this kind of draped so that when you're nursing nobody can really see, or if you have a baby that is good with having covers on, you can actually put this whole thing over them and nobody can see anything at all. I have been wearing these guys under flannels, I wear it by itself, I wear it with long necklaces, I wear it with a scarf. I literally wear them all the time. You can see on the back there's like a split design, and that makes it so that the front part is loose enough to become a nursing cover rather than it just coming from the side seam. Get her into position. This top layer just flips up, and there she goes. She's like, who are you talking to? So if your baby doesn't mind covers, which mine does, you can also use this part to cover over their head. Whoosh, whoosh. So you can nurse like that if you prefer to nurse with a cover. My baby does not like covers. Easy as pie. Say goodbye, Bean. Goodbye. I think it is just such a genius design. It was designed by a mama. I told her how in love with them I am. She actually gave me a coupon code for you guys to use, and I have that down below in the description box. So if you decide that you need one of these, which I am telling you do if you are a nursing mama, or you're going to be a nursing mama, or you know anybody who's a nursing mama, go get one of these, or 2 of these, or 5 of these, because I'm telling you, you're gonna live in them. Like, straight up live in them. And when I'm not nursing anymore, you're still gonna be seeing me wearing these because they're just the best. They come in charcoal gray and like a light heather gray. They're beautiful. They are so buttery soft. They're made in the USA. They're made by a fellow mama, and I just can't say enough good things about them. What is next? Okay, the next thing is good nutrition and supplements. This is so important because you are literally making food for a human, and they are getting all of their nutrition from you. I am not a doctor or a midwife. I am not providing you medical information. I am just telling you what I do, along with eating a really good diet, making sure that you're getting plenty of protein and calcium and leafy greens and all those important things, which I try to do and I'm not always great at. It's also important, according to my midwife, to take the same kind of supplements that you were taking during pregnancy, which hopefully were good. While I was pregnant, I was taking a prenatal, so I continue to take that prenatal all through my breastfeeding. When we stop breastfeeding, then I can stop taking it, unless I get pregnant again. You obviously need to consult with your own midwife or doctor and find out what it is that you should be taking for your own nutrition. I also take a vitamin D supplement. Vitamin D is really important for babies, and it's also really important in pregnancy, and it's actually been shown to make birth have less complications if you're taking vitamin D or getting enough of it through the sun. And then this is really important specifically if you're nursing. I take, and I'm gonna say it wrong, I'm sure, lecithin? I'm just gonna go with lecithin. It's probably wrong, and I'm so sorry if it's wrong, but it's this. This will help to prevent clogged ducts. So if you have ever expressed milk into a bottle and you put it in the fridge and you take it out, you've seen that there's like a fatty layer and it separates from more of the liquid, or sometimes the fat will kind of get stuck on the edges of the bottle. What this does is it keeps your milk emulsified. There have been a couple times that I have had a clogged duct and it feels like there's a rock in there and it doesn't go away naturally just from her nursing. When that has happened, it is good to take extra of this, and then you massage it and apply heat to it, and every time it's gone away. If you don't treat it, it can turn into mastitis, which is, I've heard, a big nightmare. Now we're going to talk about things that you need if a problem arises. And these are things to have on hand. You don't want to wait until the problem does arise. You want to just have it in your medicine cabinet ready to go so that you can start it right away. You don't want to wait. The next thing is apple cider vinegar. This is probably something that you have in your pantry already, but it has so many good uses. And one of those uses is to treat thrush. Again, I am not a doctor. I am not prescribing apple cider vinegar to treat your thrush. You need to check with your professional, whether that's a midwife or a lactation consultant or your doctor. But this is what I do as a kind of crunchy mama. I don't like to use medication unless I really need to. So I have a 1 part apple cider vinegar, 1 part filtered water in this little spray bottle. I spray it onto a cotton pad. I can wipe down my nipple with it. It just helps to kill any yeast that might be developing. It really helps to kind of soothe it, make it feel better, and then I will apply some of that nipple butter. I apply this and then I apply some of this nipple cream, and within a day and a half usually it feels much better. I've never had a full-on like outbreak of thrush where I can see it in Ava's mouth and I can see a lot of redness, but I have gotten to the point where I feel really itchy or kind of burning. So this is a really good thing to have on hand because you don't want to have to run out to the store, try to go find treatments for it when you're in the midst of it and you're already uncomfortable. The next things that I'm going to talk about are really important to have on hand and ready to go at a moment's notice, so I would not wait to buy these. Those things are if you think that you have mastitis. Mastitis is an infection in your breast. If you don't treat it right away, it can become an abscess that needs to be drained surgically, and I've even heard of women needing to stop breastfeeding altogether because otherwise the pockets that develop would never heal. So you want to get it immediately if you think that you have mastitis. If you go to a doctor, they will treat with antibiotics. If you like to go to doctors and you like to take antibiotics, then ignore the next thing I'm going to say. But for those of you who are a little bit on the crunchier side, like me, I really try to stay away from antibiotics unless absolutely necessary because they kill off good bacteria too, and then you have to take so many probiotics and it messes everybody up and it can cause yeast infections. I try to treat things without them whenever possible. So for mastitis, the 2 good things to have on hand are these homeopathics, Hepersulf and Phytolacca. I don't know if you've ever taken a homeopathic. I never had. I definitely took some during labor. They are the funniest little things. You're gonna feel like you're taking candy. They're like these tiny little sugar balls. The science behind homeopathics is so interesting. So if you have never heard of it and you're interested in it, I just recommend that you go out on the internet and start searching for it. It's crazy, and I am not a homeopath, so please go see a homeopath and have them tell you what you need. But I do know for mastitis, these are the 2 things that you definitely want to have on hand. I have them in my bedside drawer. I have taken them in the middle of the night when all of a sudden I feel my breast is kind of tender and swollen, and I have texted my midwife in the middle of the night and said, these are the things that are happening, what do I do? And she says, just start on the homeopathics just in case. I take a dose of this, and then 15 minutes later a dose of this, and 15 minutes later a dose of this, until the symptoms go away. I have never had mastitis. I would like to say it's because I've been taking these. It might be that I just haven't had it yet, but just having these available to me and not having to wait to order them or to go buy them if ever it really starts to flare up makes me feel so calm and at ease. The other thing, which I know that you crunchy mamas know all about already, is taking garlic. Garlic is a crazy, awesome, natural anti-illness. I don't even know what to call it. It's really good for you and it really helps your immune system. So I have a bottle of capsules. These are by Country Life. They're odorless. they're tasteless. Whenever I start to feel like maybe I might be getting mastitis, or I feel like I'm getting sick, or I feel like anything at all that my immune system needs to have some extra strength for, I take some of this and it works like a charm. Some people take just raw garlic cloves, they just bite it and chew it up and swallow it, and I say to those women, more power to you. That is amazing, and I'm just not at that place right now. I don't think I'm brave enough to do that. The next thing that I think is so crucial is this book. This is like the nursing Bible, and it is by LECITHIN, and this is actually my midwife's. I need to give it back to her. I should just buy my own copy. This has information about anything that you could ever want to know. I think that every single woman who breastfeeds should have this book. There is, of course, a lot of information online too. I would also recommend the LECITHIN website and also kellymom.com. Kelly Mom has a ton of information and was recommended to me when I was pregnant by my sister-in-law. The next thing is not something tangible, but I believe it's probably the most important thing, and that is support. Breastfeeding is completely normal and completely natural, and you're made to do it. But in our society, because it's not something that we talk about a lot, it's not something that we really do a lot in front of each other, we are so underexposed to it. When problems arise and you're a first-time mom, it can feel so overwhelming, and it can feel scary, and it can really take a big emotional toll on you, because feeding your baby kind of feels like your number one job in the world. I had so many issues with all this pain I was experiencing. My baby had a really hard time latching in the beginning because my nipples were kind of flat, and I was ready to throw in the towel after 24 hours. And I'm not saying that just to be dramatic. I was in tears. I was digging my toes into the floor and cringing every time I had to feed her. And I loved her, and she was my brand new baby, but the thought of feeding her just filled me with dread. Every time I would hear her cry, and my husband, you know, he would try everything else. He would try changing her diaper and rocking her and doing everything, and he would come in and say, I think she's hungry, babe. And I would just be like, oh, really? And I wanted to feed her, I wanted to nourish her, but the thought of breastfeeding her was like, it felt like torture. So if I had not had a husband who would sit there and squeeze my hand, or if I had not had a midwife who was like, you can do this, your body's made to do this, I'm here for you. She came over every day for a week, and she brought me nipple shields, the breast shell things, and the cooling pads, and cream, and all the things. She would say, okay, well, let's try taking a break from nursing, and let's try using your pump. Maybe your pump will help, you know? And she taught me how to use my pump, and taught me how to get her latched, and taught me all these different positions. And I have chills right now talking about it. I could cry. I would not be breastfeeding my baby still if it wasn't for the people in my life who knew how important it was to me and knew how to support me and were there for me. I don't cry. So this is so important. If you don't have a husband or a partner who is going to support you, that's okay. That's okay, because there are other people. If you don't have a midwife who's going to support you, or a postpartum doulas, if you don't have one of those, that's okay. You can get a lactation consultant. There are lactation consultants that are available through your insurance. If you don't have that, if you don't have any money to spend on that, you still have options, because you can go to a LECITHIN meeting, and I will link that down below. They're free. They're put on by these women who have years of experience, and they're only doing it because they're so passionate about it. And they will be there for you, and they will give you their personal cell phone number. So please never feel like you're alone, and don't let it be an isolated experience. Let it be something that other people can help you with. I am telling you, it's just really important that you know at least someone that you can call and say, I'm really struggling. There will be a point where you feel like you want to give up. Please just have somebody already that you can call. Somebody who knows more than you do, who has more experience, who can say, okay, hang on, wait. Let's talk about it, and can talk you through truth and give you truth and encouragement and love and support, and say, let's try this, let's try this. It's okay. Please don't give up before you really have reached out and exhausted all of your options. I thought I would never get there. It took me 6 weeks before I was not digging my toes into the floor. But I can tell you, I love nursing my baby. She is 9 months now, and I would never be here if it wasn't for the support that I got. 6 weeks into it, it finally hit a sweet spot. And I have heard this from so many other moms that it was such a struggle and they thought, how am I ever gonna do this? I can't do this. But if you can just go one more day, and then you can go one more day, and just keep telling yourself, I can just do it one more time. And I'm telling you, you will get to a point where it gets better and where it doesn't hurt and it feels like the best snuggle, and you'll see how content they are. Ava will pet me while I'm feeding her, tickle my skin, hold onto my clothes, and I just know how soft and how content and how cozy and safe she feels. I'm gonna cry again, sorry. If they're not latching or something, of course, go get professional help. I just want to tell you, just trust your body. Be encouraged that you are made to do this. It will get to a point where you will love it. That is all for today. I hope that you are encouraged. I hope that you're excited if you've never nursed before. Nursing is awesome, and it's just so cool to know that you are nourishing this little life. If you've nursed many babies, if you've had crazy nursing experiences, I want to hear about them. And as always, please subscribe. I would love to have you as a subscriber. I have lots of fun videos coming up, and I would love to see you again. Click on the red subscribe button below. If it's not red, then you're already a subscriber. Give me a thumbs up if you like this video, and I will see you next time. Bye! Welcome back. Ugh. I am super... breast shield. That is not... I apologize in advance if this is TMI for any of my guy friends who might be watching this for any reason. I don't know why you're watching it. Aerated and I don't know. Kind of a gross feeling at first. Whatever. If those are the same... I'm butchering this. My husband and I are... on the attachment. We're more on the even sometimes a hospital grade breath. Sometimes even a hospital grade extra and donate and yeah. And this is something, I think they're called nursing. I've talked about that in my the milk spoils I think it's the Lark tank. Oh, I gotta look. That's important. And then don't worry, I have something under there. We've emailed back and forth. I told her how in love with them I are. And in your own mouth, you have to think about what you're putting in your own mouth, because that's... well, okay. This is terrible. I cannot imagine something that sounds more painful or awful. That's not true. And also Kelly Mon... especially...